What's up? What's up, guys? Give me 1 second. Let's throw this. Let's get this going. Where's the link? Where is the link? All right. Let's see. Market just open here. Oh, it's about to open. What do we got? Yeah, there we go. Just line up some levels real quick. I'm not in a rush. I don't trade right now, right at the bell. So let me look at some levels real quick. That'll be my daily here, 416.8, and then you have 415.2. I'll watch this level right there. I'll line that up. 415.3. What's the close over here? 0.2. 0.2. There we go. I'm gonna get it perfect, but that's pretty much all I like on the daily so far. Unless we get above, then I'll watch something else. But for now, I'm just gonna look at that. Yeah. Now let's look at the 5 minute. See what levels we got going on. So that's why, right? That's a gap fill. There we go. That's the gap fill on the off the daily level. So on the 5 minute, you can see it's a gap fill. We haven't filled the gap yet, so look for a gap fill reversal potentially. And then we do have the top here. So this will be the daily supply up here. Nothing above, just the 415.2, and then we got our 417. And then below, let's look, we have a trend. Of course, you always line up your gaps. Let's do that. And then nothing else I really like. I don't really like anything else. Yeah, I don't really like anything else so far. So, well, so what I'll do is I'll end up waiting for price action to develop, and then line up some levels now. Let's look and see what we got going on. Let's pull up the flow. Watch the flow. Watch the flow. Change the date. Today's the 9th. There we go. Let's get a setup. Let's get a setup. If you guys have any tickers as well you're watching or you're seeing potential setups, I'll be more than happy to give you my opinion on it. Let you know what I'm seeing. But patience, patience, patience in the morning. I'm gonna flip around, see what I like. I recently really like trading AMD lately, so that's definitely one I'll have on the radar. Disney gap up after earnings, not surprised by the draw, but we'll have to look at a higher time frame, see what we got going on here. This is a good daily level here for it to close above, but you do have a gap filled up here. So you got to fill the gap right there, but I'll line it up at the close. And then you have a really good daily level right there as well. Gapped above it, but it's below it. So if Disney ends up holding this to the upside, over here at this 117.70 and closes above, you're looking for this gap fill. I mean, if market chugs, you'll get it today more than likely, but we'll see if it rallies, that is. These IVs must be juiced. All right. So far, the flow in the morning has been bullish, call dominant. Let's see. Let's get the hookah going. We got the setup. Let's get the hookah going. The coffee, nothing like morning coffee and some hookah. or in other words, some shisha. Some of you guys call it shisha. Oh, let's go. So we ended up just reading a message on the Discord. So we ended up I ended up checking the flow on Disney before close, and it had some bullish flow come in, pretty heavy bullish flow, and I just posted it in the Discord just for entertainment purposes, not to play earnings. And we got some guys that played the earnings, and one of them just tagged me. It was up 58%. Those IVs are probably juiced. Yeah, IBM. Let's look at PayPal. I like trading PayPal too. PayPal. Line that up there. So, also one other thing I'm going to be doing is watching the range now. I'm going to see what the low of the morning range is and the high of the morning range is, and then I'm going to set my levels up there. And what I've been doing lately is watching it for the breakout, and then that's the scalp I'll be looking for. It's not something I've been alerting, but something I've been testing myself, and it's worked out pretty good. Um, that the 1 minute is powerful. I like the 1 minute. I'm gonna try to start using the 1 minute for triggers. Stock Sniper, I see why you like the 1 minute, brother. Yeah, I'm not going to that. RBLX got some flow come in. Piton. Here, let's look at Apple. Apple. You're just in the middle of nowhere right now. It's really hard to pick a direction, right? Just it's I mean, right now you just really have to be patient. Um, really have to be patient and just wait for some price actions to develop. This is a level right there on Apple, and then you have pretty much this double top. So this is what you got, this consolidation over here. Well, triple bottom, you could say, and then you got this little double top. All right, are the Qs holding up? No. So what's up, boys? Yeah, where is it? Dipka is on. He's taking a break, so he's supposed to be on vacation. I'm not sure if he left yet or not, but he is taking a break. He's been grinding for a while, man. He's been grinding for a while, so he's taking a little break, a much deserved break. AMD. So for anyone new, I'm not one of those traders right out the bell. I'm grabbing a trade now. I'm gonna jump on different tickers, look for setups, find some setups. There's some tickers I do like trading, and if there's just, you'll probably see me trade a random ass ticker, but if the setup is there, I'll take it. And that's that. If you have any setups, or if you're looking at any stocks, let me know. I'll take a look. I'll be more than happy to analyze it. Shisha flavor of choice, gum mint. Gum mint. If I don't have gum mint, it's mint. If I don't have mint, I'm not touching the hookah. I can't. Jimmy, what's up, brother? What's up, brother? Let's see. Patience. This technique has been pretty good. Pretty good. Morning range. Let's see if we get some morning range, and that's been the case lately. We open, we just like bounce around a little bit, and then we finally get going. You can see here. It's right there. And then I ended up playing the breakdown on this range right here yesterday. So since this is going to be triggered off of the 1 minute, right? So it's going to be a scalp. I'm not looking for anything. That doesn't mean it's not going to, continue falling if it does break down out of the range like this, for example, right? This continued falling. But I'm looking for a scalp because my trigger is the 1 minute. I'm not looking in. If my trigger was the 30 minute, there's a reason why, I can possibly hold the trade, right? Hold it longer, the 5 minute that is. But the 1 minute, it's a in and out. It's a trigger off the 1 minute. I'm in and out. Right now we're looking at the 5 minute. This is the 1 minute, but nothing yet. I find my range on the 5 minute, then I'll line up my levels, and then I'll jump into the 1 minute and wait for my trigger and wait for the trigger. Anything with men's good. That's right. T and men. Oh, it's the best. T and men. All right, let's refresh this flow, see what we got coming in. Some Baba calls. Disney Spy, 0 DTE plus 70K, nothing crazy. So TQs, call flow, call flow, call flow. The only put flow I've seen on the indices is a Spy 0 DTE that actually came in 2 minutes ago, but nothing crazy, nothing too heavy that'll intrigue me. Let's look at Baba. Oof. What was the news on Bob? Probably some news. They probably got some. Minus China comments helps nudge Chinese tech stocks into their. It doesn't look like that with Baba. Baba's gapped up. Baba is gapped up. There's Neo. Gapped up. Gapped up. Fixed size probably up too. Yeah, look at that. This thing, man. Look at this. Every day you gap up or gap down. That's FXI is a China large cap ETF. All right, there goes SPY coming down. Apple testing the zone here. Let's see. Patience, patience, patience. Microsoft testing yesterday's resistance. Yeah. Yep. That was so. This was a stop loss level off of a short I took yesterday. This ended up running, I think, like 40+% off this trade, but this was a stop loss level, and now it looks like it wants to confirm as support, but let's wait a bit and see what we get here. Anything on SPY? No, nothing much. You got the open there. You have to watch the open. So why the open, right? Why the open on a 5 minute? Because this will be your daily too, your daily level. All right. That's Intel. So if this ends up curling back up, so if SPY ends up coming back up, this will be the low. This will be my range low, right? This right about there. That'll be my range low, and then we'll set a range high when it curls back up. So you got to also note your RR, right? Your risk and reward. If this ends up breaking holding, your risk and reward. So if you're looking to play a few days out, let's say, right? What are you looking for? How much percent are you looking for? If you have a gap fill right there, because this might gap fill in reverse, right? It might flip this into resistance and then come back down, or it might keep chugging. Who knows, right? But your RR, if you're playing calls, this is your room right here. This is your room. If you're expecting, if you're targeting anything further, that's not a good RR because your resistance is right there. You have to respect this. You do have to respect this and note that, okay, potentially we could reverse off this gap fill on the 5 minute. We need to get one of the other head traders in here too. See what they're looking at. I don't know. We'll get that going for next time for sure. So what do you do? Long. So system is buy signal on the system. Buy signals. And so here's your open. This is your open here. Let's see how it plays out. Let's look at the daily. You see how that daily, this is a daily time frame, and you see how that close right there? So that's a daily level, right? Have to respect it. That's why I note gap fill levels on the 5 minute time frames, or on any time frame. Always note the gap levels. Let's refresh, see if we're getting some nice call flow coming in here. No, so you got your last, yeah, you just got a 0 DT put flow, nothing crazy though. You got some SQs calls, so which is short queues, right? 145K 1 day out. Google though has been getting some call flow. Yeah, since the bell. Let's look at Google. Are we coming down into support? This is the 30. This is your open right here, and then you have consolidation right there. So this is a good 30-minute level right about there. This is your open, that's your 30. So that's a decent level, and if it comes down, you just have to line up levels, but not looking at Google right now. I don't think I'll touch this. تفاحتين no. علكة ونعنع. علكة ونعنع. تفاحتين, I can't. Double apple will get me dizzy, man. Double apple will, I'll get dizzy. Look at that bounce. Look at that bounce. Just pull up RH here, see what these cons are looking like today. Not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. Where's our put? So there was market futures moved last night randomly, huge wicks. Let's look at, across forex. I trade US 30. So there we go right here. I saw this. I knew Dwayne was long on and he was up nice. I think he got in somewhere early on. He got in somewhere around here, I believe, and um, his trade was doing great. And then this wick, I think, stopped him out, which sucks because this is a ripper of a trade. This is a heck of a trade, but he still got back in and ripped futures. Yeah, I can look. I'm looking back. He ripped futures. That was sick. But you hate to see this shit. You hate to see that. What's Ford doing? Fucking Ford. Ford for any swing traders. I'm watching Ford, this trend line, break and hold. I like it to the downside. And then a potential gap fill reversal. So if we fill the gap, reject and close below, I like this for a swing as well. So, but I do like Ford is a really, really slow taker that move. The cons, they take forever. Let's look at some resistance. Oh, you have a 30-minute here. Right at resistance, Ford. Right at resistance. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. So respected level from yesterday, the day before actually, the 7th, and then all right, AMD. Let's see, wants to go or not. So AMD Q's coming up to the high here. You have resistance right there on the Q's. AMD could move up to this, so this has nice room to run. Maybe you have some resistance right there. So let's remove this, set this. Let me turn on my 9 first. Let me look at this real quick. Not the cleanest. So not the strongest level, but you could see there's resistance right there at 86.2 and some change. But I like this target up here, but watch the Qs here. I mean the SPY, that's SPY. Where's the Qs at? How much room does the Qs have? Oh, up to here, so. Patience, patience. Patience, patience. Let's see what we get. So this would be the top, right? The top, look at the 5-minute. Yeah. So the trigger would be on the 1-minute break and hold is 414.57 level, trigger for calls, right? And then you have your 415.2, which is your gap fill up here as resistance. Now, if the 1-minute chart ends up chugging up here and closing right there, that wouldn't be smart to take, right? That would not be smart to take because you have resistance right there. That might just come right back down. So the way I've been playing this is break and hold of that, and then you have, and then I'll bring this down right up to that candle close, and I'll keep that as my stop loss on the 1-minute. So if it does come back down and close, that's when I'll look to cut the trade. That's how I've been watching and playing it. But it's on a 5-day streak, so let's see if that ends up playing out. And then this is your low range. So if we come all the way back down, break and hold 413.16, that's the trigger. And then I move my stop loss right about there to that candle close because I'm playing it off of that wick right there. Not much flow coming in. We haven't, no, Mamba's still getting called. Google too. Now did Google make a move back up? Nothing really. Let's pull up the 9, see where this is at. And then the 30. So you got, okay, you have resistance right there. So this is a level on Google right about there. But Google's been getting call flow. Google has been getting call flow this morning since the bell. since the bell. 1 DTE. No confirmation, right? You got to play with confirmation. You got to trade with that confirmation. Nice. Someone took, so I'm assuming you took the SPY scalp. So on TradingView, you go up here to this select layout, and then you can mess with it, a bunch of stuff. But I just have this. You can do the other way where top and bottom. I don't like that. I prefer this. Oh, we are on the 1 minute. Sista, was that the scalp on SPY on the off the low? Yeah, Jimmy, we got to get Sniper in here for sure. We'll get him in here. Share his screen for us, right? Show him what he's show us how what he watches, how he takes these levels. Google don't look too pretty, huh? Our Q's got some 0 DTE. Call flow. Nothing crazy though. Nothing crazy. When I say crazy, I like if I see 100K plus, that intrigues me. Anything below, I won't put too much emphasis on it, but I will note it. I will note it. We'll note it. So this is the 1 minute on the left on SPY. The 1 minute, because we have our range now, right? We're looking to see if we'll break out of that range. Let's see. The 0 DTEs, so when I note these 0 DTEs, those are usually quick movers, right? It's nothing a week out or something where it's possibly a swing. These 0 DTEs, they're probably in and out. They're probably out already, right? Let's look at the Qs. They're probably already moved up. Yep. So they're probably out already, right? They could have been in and out with those. 59K, heck yeah, I'd be out. So this might, I'm pretty sure this is delayed. This has to be delayed a few seconds. Just be be aware of that. I'm just waiting for a trade setup, waiting for price action, some intraday levels to develop, and then I'll end up playing them. This is coming down. Look at that nasty wick. Look at that nasty wick. So no trigger there, right? So if we're able to break and hold this 413.17 on the 1 minute, that would be a trigger with the stop loss at this 413.36. Same time frame, the 1 minute. Anyone just tuning in, this is something I've just been testing. I'll watch the 5 minute, get a range on there. You could watch the 1 minute or the 5 minute, but I'll get a range on there. And then we got the high and we got the low after the bounce. This is really nasty candles on SPY here. You don't like to see that. You prefer something like this right here, right? That's beautiful. And then you have the previous open. That's gorgeous right there. But these are just nasty wicks here. And then what the strategy is after, you know, it has the high, it has the low, and you get that bounce, is you'll line up your low, and then you'll line up your high, and on the 1 minute you end up triggering it off the 1 minute. So break and hold to the upside, or break and hold this level. This would be a stop loss. I can change this color here so no one will get confused. That's a stop loss based off of this wick right there. So AMD has a peaky setup. We got our 9 and 30 crossover. 30 is confirmed support on the 30. That's a peaky setup. And do we have any support confirmation here? We have good support right there as well at the 30, right? But we'll have to watch the cues on this. Oh, well, I'll have to flip to the 5 minute. Still range bound. Chop chop this morning. Chop chop. Scalp City. We are in Scalp City. We've been in Scalp City for a while. All right, let me take a look at these comments. Jimmy, I got you on the. I showed you how. Okay. What's up, Gopher? Thank you, brother. Hope you've been well. Nice, Cortez. Nice, man. You guys are taking these, huh? You guys are taking these levels. That's nice. I like to see that. I'm waiting for a setup. Logman. 41240. That's what you got on SPY. Let's go back and look at SPY. Where are we at? 41240. Yeah. So this would be key on SPY. This is on the 1 minute. So probably on the 5 minute it looks. Yeah. So that would be right here. Yeah. I got the same thing. I have the same thing on there. That'd be a level. Nothing too strong, but maybe all the way down here to 412.25. So I would highlight this area right there. I would highlight this because you could see the resistance developed here on the candle closes on the 5 minute. And then this ended up breaking hold, and this would probably trigger some people, right? Trigger some traders to go long. Nope, faked out, dumped right through. So 412.25 up to 412.5 would be a nice zone, nice support zone there. Let's see, where's our daily? Let's look at the 5 minute one more time. You'd really, I prefer it curl, develop a, come back and then come back down. But let's see how this plays out. Again, this is just, I'm back testing a strategy, so let's see how these play out. Daily time frame. AAA daily time frame. Give me 1 second. Let me go turn off this alarm. I'll be right. All right. All right. So no trigger yet. Right. No trigger yet. So let me show you, for example, exactly what I'm talking about on yesterday's open. So yesterday's open right here, we formed a range, right? What was yeah, so this is the one. I'm not gonna jump on the 5 minute, but we'll take a look in a second. But that was the 1 minute level up there, and then the low was right here. So there was no trigger, right? Chop, 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 and there was no trigger. We came up here, we never broke and held the high of that range, right? We wicked above it, but we closed, no trigger. The trigger was this. This was the trigger. We broke and held the low. This fell through. But you see how you develop nice, and nice, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Right here. So you see how you develop some nice price action, right? Up, down, up, down, up. This is more of a consolidation down. Yeah, you had this. These are just nasty candles. This one, especially this one right here. This is a nasty 5 minute candle. You're not really getting any good price action at the moment in the morning. Even if it's a range, even if it's just chop in the range, it's not even nice. This is nice. And then the previous open as well. This is nice. This is nice. This is nice. You like to see that, right? But you're not really getting any come through bounce, and then it's just 5 minute huge wicks. I mean, this is 413, almost a whole dollar, a dollar move on this 5 minute candle. This 5 minute candle touched the top and came back, touched the bottom. So nasty, nasty range. Nasty range. This would be to me. I have, again, I'm still testing this, but this would probably be a low confidence setup just because of how this is developed. Unless we continue to stay in the range, come up, form something, and then come back down or come back up, that's fine. But something like this, give me something clean. Give me clean chop. Don't give me this brutal chop. But no trigger. We've seen the wicks, but no trigger, right? We've seen the wicks, but no trigger. Even if we're playing it off of the what's this? I'm gonna leave that level there. All right, 9 minute bounce, bounced off the supply zone here on the 5 minute. That's a clean bounce off the 5 minute. Uber's been on a run, huh? I think Uber's been on a tear. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Uber's been on a tear. How's Spa doing? Spa's one I've been watching. Okay, above the level. Yeah. I'm thinking Spa might end up forming a cup and handle. Coming back here, we can maybe to down here and then coming back up and or breaking through that handle and ripping. So this is something on the daily I've been watching, looking to swing. I've just been patient with it. Swinging has not been easy. Has not been easy. How's Pfizer doing? Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Oof, Paramount. This has had a wild ride, huh? This is probably a daily. Yeah, let's remove that. Bring this level down here. Oh my god, how many trend lines? Right about there. You guys liking the chop in the morning? Gotcha, Cortez. 414.40. Yeah, been a good level. That level's off of right there. The nice double top. See, this is gross. This is an ugly 5-minute open. This is ugly. You got the first 3 candles, okay, decent, and then the next 2 just ruined this whole picture here. Even AMD, I mean, yeah, the price, the PA hasn't been really nice this morning, guys. Not at all. AMD, will it make a move into, this is, yeah, will it make a move into the 86.7? There's some resistance right there, up into 87. So you got a nice little supply zone on the 5-minute. But you can't play if your indices don't look too great. It's hard to play it. I trigger my trades off of a setup, right? And I set up and then the indices most of the time. So almost always, not almost always, you know, the AMD and NVIDIA will move with the market, but there's times where they do their own thing. We actually saw that happen last week. Remember AMD guys last week? Break, hook, and go. Some of you guys played it. I didn't play just because the Qs were coming down, but it had a clean break, hook, and go off of a level and ripped. We're still within range. We're still within range. So if, for example, you would want to play the Qs, move the 1 minute down here, which is our support on the 5-minute, all the way to the left. We saw that. And then the top of this range would be a call trigger right there. And then if this gets triggered to the upside, your stop loss would be what? Right there. You get a 1 minute candle close back below 308.85. That's your stop loss. Let's fix the hookah. Let's fix the hookah. That wick last night, some news came out, I guess, last night, and that wick last night, so I trade Forex, so I have like stop losses and actually not stop loss, but a TP on some names I had set up, and then I just hear my computer going off, and I'm like, what is going on? I come check, and a few of my trades ended up taking profit. I'm like, what just happened? I go look at the charts, and crazy. Nice wicks, nice wicks. I think this was it for Euro overnight, somewhere right here. Euro dollar didn't do too much, but I know Euro JPY, AUD JPY. Look at this. Look at this wick. That's crazy. There you go, another one. Break, hook, and ghost fire system. System is BS. This is probably probably one of the traders. Who's that, Ramsey? Love you, brother. This guy, man. Chop, chop. Dwayne got to get in here. If you're able to make money in this chop, man, nice. I know Cortez, my man Cortez here. Grab the bottom, played the top, right? Put scalp. All right, flow, flow, flow. What do we got on the flow? Netflix calls, AMD puts, put, singular put, one put. Nothing even on the flow. Nothing crazy on the flow, guys, just yet. Oh, Uber had that heavy. So I noted that earlier. I didn't peek the premium, but that was a 214K. This is a strong run up, man. I'd watch Uber over here on this. Confirm that support. I like this to the long. I like that to the upside, and it had a gap fill, right? We were looking at it, or was that another ticker that had a gap fill? No, it wasn't Uber that had the gap fill, but on the daily, so my screen, so what you're seeing here is just shrunk. Like usually this is um so this left would be the whole screen, and then let's say Uber right here would be the right, but I can't fit the whole thing, and I mean if I do, it'll look real small, so I had to shrink it just a bit for it to be clear on YouTube for you guys. So that's why when I move and I end up zooming out, moving, I'm not used to that. I usually just jump on the daily. I'm able to see the big picture. You're coming up into daily resistance. That's probably why you rejected earlier. And then you have a move probably right there. 38.65 is key. 38. Bring it down a bit on Uber, but range bound, range bound. Nice. Nice, Cortez. Anyone watch any setups? Any setups you got? Let's look at some names from random names. So CHPT. Nice peaky. Didn't quite hit the 30, but there goes your 9 and 30 crossover. Your 9 is the blue, your 30 is the yellow. This is a peak, and once you get that crossover, and then you get the support confirmation, the bounce off the 30 to run it up. But it's best played with support, right? If your 30 is at support, you would love to see that. Par we looked at. How is energy? How is energy today? How is energy today? Ooh. Look at XLE, guys. I'll be watching this. Check this out, this level right there. That's keen if we jump into the 1 minute. There we go. That'd be probably the break and hold right there. So if you break and hold this on the 5 minute, and on the 1 minute it's right here. So on the 5 minute, this is the trigger, right? But on the 1 minute, it might so the 5 minute might close within here, and then you jump into the 1 minute, you might chop. So this is what happened with AMD. We chopped literally. We had a head and shoulders on AMD yesterday, and it broke and held my 5 minute level, which is the trigger for puts, right? But I jumped into the 1 minute, and it was still at support on the 1 minute. So it chopped, and then it broke through. Once it broke and held, I took it to the downside, which was this yesterday right here. So this is the 1 minute. The 5 minute was right here. This was the neckline on the 5 minute. It was about right up here. We can look at the 5 minute. Let's see. Right there. You see that 5 minute, and then the wicks on the 1 minute. So jumped into the 1 minute, was waiting for. So some of you guys might say, why not just wait for? Why not just line up your 5 minute on the wicks, right? Well, because your 5 minute close might be might be way down here when you're 1 minute, when you could have triggered it up here within the 5 minute candle, right? So you could have triggered it within the 5 minute candle and your 5 minute closes up here. You might have 3 minutes left on the 5 minute candle, but you got in right here, let's say, and it ended up closing right here. So it gives you a better entry, a more precise entry. It's not something I've been doing for a while. This is as of recent. I've just been just something I just hopped into the 1 minute. I was like, let me take a look at the 1 minute how this looks, and hey, it played out. You see? So like this one ended up breaking holding at 137 central, right? So we still had 3 minutes left on that 5 minute candle. This could have continued dumping, but I was triggered up here. The 5 minute candle closed right here. So there you go. I posted a video on this yesterday. So 25, almost a 10-cent difference, which plays a role, right? That 10-cent move on AMD. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So for those who are like, why don't you just line it up on the wicks? This is why. You might get your trigger within the 5 minute candle. All right, there goes AMD into resistance. You gapped away from your 9. Look, you want AMD to develop support right there. So it's helping you avoid the chop so far. Avoided the chop on the indices. I'm never a trader that plays the indices often, but this strategy I've been using, might have to start doing it. Might have to start doing it, at least in the morning, right? 1 minute there. Let's move this out of the way. Anything else I want to look at? Oh, let's look at airlines. Let's look at airlines. So you got a nice little region there on AL. One second, guys. Have to just give my wife something. 1 second. All right. Where's DAL? Meta. Let's take a look at Meta. So let's remove this. This is probably a daily. So there goes your support on Meta right there. This is a filled the gap, held it, right? But your 9 is below your 30, which is bearish for me, right? Over here, I'm looking for a short as long as my 9 is below my 30. And then you have your intraday support right about there on Meta, 185, let's say. So this could be set. This is a potential nice setup for a short here on Meta, at least to 182. There you go. Meta is one of those will do its own thing. Doesn't give a fuck where the market's headed. Meta is one of those. And if it's strong, it's strong. If it's weak, it's weak. So look for this. This two ways, right? This could break and hold here, and then oh, look at that sell off. Look at that sell off. Look at that sell-off. So Meta, if it's able to break and hold, maybe jump on the 1 minute, see what we got on the 1 minute. Yeah, so this is a good trigger for the 1 minute. So within the 5 minute, right? So this is your 5 minute trigger, and this is a clean 1 minute trigger too. So if the 1 minute within the 5 minute candle ends up breaking holding, that would look to be a trigger if you're playing a quick scalp. But if you just want to wait for the 5 minute break and hold to the downside and target 182, that's fine. You do have this support right here, 183, but we'll see. Look at that sell off. Look at that sell off. Oh, look at that sell off. We didn't get any news, right? This was just the 1 minute. Right into support here for 12.8. Where'd I get that for 12.8 from? Oh, right here. This right there. That's where I got it from. It's for 12.85. Probably on the 1 minute it was down here because of these wicks, but this is your support. It has to break and hold on the 5 minute further downside for a target to 412.25. So that would be a trigger right here. Not the cleanest range formation on the 5 minute, right? But that would be the trigger. You got support there. So your RR isn't too great. You're right at support, bounce off support. But this technically, this candle right here would be a trigger for a short on the 1 minute. There you go. There you go. Another one. Another one. 110. That's nice. 9.2 to 110. That is sweet. That is sweet. You saw that played out. That's a 20% right there. It's it passed. It's at hit 120. The 412 0 DTEs. So that's your trigger right there. Where was it? Right here. So that was your trigger, right? So this was our trigger right there. This candle right here, based off of the low of the morning after the bounce. Again, not the cleanest, right? So this wouldn't be the high confidence play, but this was the trigger right here. This candle. You gotta like that. You gotta like that. This was the trigger, held, drop. Nice. That's 20%. I'll take it any day. I'll take it any day. So in this case right here, if this ended up coming up to, so my stop loss right here. So this is the wick. Yeah, so I lined up my stop loss already. This white level right here was the stop loss on the 1 minute. This is the trigger. This is a stop loss. And then you can play it however you want. You want to continue holding on that 1 minute, that's up to you. But I like a nice little scalp. Full them up. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That was clean. That was clean. You guys get that? You guys understand the morning range setup breakout? That's day 6, 6 out of 6 so far. 92 to 110. 92 to 110. About 20%, 19.56. So this is why I said YouTube is a bit delayed. It's probably a few seconds. I don't think it's like a minute. I don't even think it's a minute. Maybe like 10 seconds. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was it, mate. That was it. All right, so let's look back at meta, see how that is. Oh, look at that. See, all right. So remember how we said the 5 minute? Sometimes you can get it within the within the 5 minute candle, right? So let's go back and look and see if we were able to trigger that. So you were able to trigger that. This is your trigger. This is your trigger. Who asked me this? McCoy, you here? McCoy, I think it was McCoy. McCoy, yeah. Ty, right here. You see this one? So on the 1 minute, we laid out the 5 minute level, and then we jumped down the 1 minute, and it had the same exact level. You can see right here. This was your 1 minute trigger. 1 second. Pawns are still moving. Let's go. Let's go. 30%. 30% move off the trigger. All right. So that was your trigger, McCoy. Ty. That was your trigger on meta. This was your support on the 5 minute. It matched up with the 1 minute. That's fine, right? We jumped into the 1 minute to see if the trigger would be a little bit lower, but this is the trigger on the 1 minute in, and then look at that drop. That's a nice move. That's a nice move. Those cons moved on that 2DT if you play 2 days out. The cons are still going. That was beautiful. I ended up trying the 412s on SPY. I ended up trying the 412s on SPY off of this market. It was a market. It's a 1 minute. It's a scalp. It's a 0 DTE. Market buy. Market buy. And you hit your target. You can't, I mean, come the fuck on. You hit your target on meta. That was your target. That was your trigger. That was your target. This 1 minute shit is amazing. The 1 minute trigger, right? You line up your levels. You triggered off the 1 minute. That's been fucking money. That's been fucking money. So beautiful. This would have stopped me out if we broke and held there. And for meta, same thing here. That would have stopped you out if the 1 minute came back up and closed back above your level. I haven't tested it on meta, but hey, it played out here nicely, right? And especially in regards to a stop loss, I haven't been stopped out on this technique. So on this strategy, I haven't been stopped out yet. So I don't know if I'm pretty sure there's going to be a time where I'll end up getting faked out where it stops and comes back down. But just to point out, I haven't tested on meta, and I haven't got stopped out yet on SPY on this technique. Who else runs? Do you not wait for a break and go on this time? No, Michael, no. So I won't wait for yeah, you're in the Discord, Metropolis. No, not for this one. This is a 1 minute scalp. This is a 1 minute time frame. 1 minute scalp. No. Nope. And look at that. You cannot make these levels up. You cannot make these levels up. You remember I told you guys this is the zone up here, down to here. Why? Because this is your resistance mainly. You got to break out, potential fake out for bulls to come in on the 5 minute. Next candle dropped right there. So this was the low of the range, right? You could label it from 412.50 down to 412.25. I mean, shit, even if I don't take any trades and I'm just here, showing you guys these levels and stuff, they've been money so far. TA's been on point. AMD, let's look at AMD on the 5 minute. Where did it reject? Bam. That was your target, right? 86.7 on AMD. There was no trigger. I didn't take this. I was just watching the indices. But you got to know your RR, because even if you're taking a trade, how much room do you have? Where's your next resistance? Where's your trim level? Where's your, potentially you want to close it out at your first resistance, right? You just want to scalp. That's it. You want to take that one trade and scalp. You got to understand how to set your levels. Yeah, go for it. So you develop a morning range. This wasn't the cleanest morning range, but I still messed with it. I still played it just to see how, if I don't have if I don't like what I'm seeing and I still play it, how does it play out? Does this strategy still look good? This was a nasty range top. This was a really nasty range top, and I pointed out I prefer something like this, right? You have a nice move up, nice move down, and then a nice move up, and then a nice move down. You prefer something like that, right? But this was just down and then consolidation, and then these are just nasty candles. These two candles are nasty, so it never really gave you anything clean. But I still played it. So what I did was I I labeled the high and I labeled the low. So we made a high, we came down, made a low, and then we bounced. Once we bounced, I set the low of that bounce, right? Um, on the 5 minute, but I triggered off the 1 minute. I labeled on the 5 minute the very high and the very low, and then I jump into the 1 minute. Now, don't mind these. Don't let these confuse you right here. These why I'll tell you in a second what they are. So I jump into 1 minute, and then what I do is I end up seeing it. So this was the low. This was the very low of that morning drop, and then this was the very high of the open. And what I did was once it breaks and holds on the 1 minute, on the not the 5 minute, the 1 minute, once it breaks and holds, I'll end up triggering it. So if we broke and held the high up here, that's calls. Now, what's my stop loss, right? My stop loss would not be the high, it would be the candle close. The candle close right here. The candle close. So if it were to come back down, close below the candle, then that's I'll cut it, right? Because you will get sometimes break and hold. You come back down, you confirm support, then you go. We had it yesterday or the day before it happened, where it broke and held, came back down. It still made a nice move, but it came back down, confirmed support, and then it continued to rip. And then down here, the low, right? So we were coming, looked like these were about to trigger it. No trigger, no trigger. I avoided these. I didn't move my uh, my um, my trigger level down here. No, these were just wicks because this is my trigger level. I'm just waiting for a break and hold. And we ended up wick, no confirmation, end up coming back up. Good, right? You avoided it. You see why? You avoided it and then end up coming back down, and it ended up holding right here. So this was the trigger. This was the trigger right here. It finally broke and held. This bounce, and then this 1 minute wicked all the way down, bounced up, closed. That's the trigger, and then that's when that's a put trigger, right? Took it. These cons ran 30%, probably more. I was able to just quickly uh, grab a nice little 20%, 92 to 110 on them, right? You can feel free to hold, but the reason is it's a 1 minute time frame again, so you just in and out, in and out, in and out. So that played nice. And then someone tagged me on Meta. He told me, "Hey, take a look at Meta." He probably wanted to see what I thought about it. So this was a trigger level right here, 183.37, and we had the gap fill right there. But this was the 5 minute trigger level, right? So what I ended up doing was I labeled that, and then we jumped into the 1 minute, and it lined up with the 1 minute as well. So what I ended up saying was, all right, breaking hold of this on the 1 minute, that triggers it, right? That triggers it. So the start of the 5 minute candle, you guys, and again, if you're just tuning in, some might think, why not just label it off the 1 minute? Well, because sometimes you end up triggering. I like my levels off the 5 minute, but sometimes you end up triggering it within the 5 minute candle. So I don't wait. So waiting for the 5 minute confirmation close will be all the way, ended up coming all the way down here on the 5 minute. What's that? What time is this? 25, 26, 27, 29, 30. So this was your close on the 5 minute. This 5 minute candle ran from here all the way down to target. This was a target. This was the target. Literally hit at him. I told him, look, I like this. This looks like it's coming down. It looks bearish. My 9 is below my 30. That's bearish for me. And it looks like it wants to curl back down. It had a nice drop, break, hook, and go to the downside. And ended up closing right here on literally the first minute of the 5 minute candle and came all the way back down. So this would be your trigger. You would have missed out on the trade waiting on the 5 minute candle. So in summary, TA, 5 minute, trigger, 1 minute. There. Yes, yeah. So TA 5 minute, trigger 1 minute. But note your RR. Note your RR. Note how much room you have to run. like how much room the price action gets to move, right? Beautiful, beautiful. This was a beautiful trade. This was beautiful. So despite the nasty range, again, this is not clean. I don't like this. I still played it. I still watched it and tried this out, and beautiful. It still played out. Still played out. Let's look at AMD. Some nice ups. Look back at the flow. So you're getting a mix of flow now. Mix of puts and calls. I'll hang in here a few more minutes, see if we get another setup. Spy play was money. Noted the trigger. That was clean. Ty, if you were playing meta, we noted the trigger on that one. That was clean. Anything else? Nothing else so far. We noted AMD does look like it wants to move up to this 86.7. That was kind of, I never took this one. Did not play this. But again, understanding your levels. Consolidation right there, right? Nice drop, bounce. Again, can hold support, held support, held support, and then once you got through, you really drop. This is what you want to look for on when lining up your levels. You want to note the movement off of the level. So this was clean, and look at this. We're still on the 1 minute here. Yeah, this is still the 1 minute time frame, and we have a level here, 12.85, 86. Break, hook, and go. Maybe this is your range right here on this. See if it ends up coming down. Break, hook, and then potentially come back down to this, see if you're able to get through. So look at that. That's your level off of what? This price action right here. This price action right there. Broke, held, go, came back, held, and then ripped. Clean, 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 clean. Can't get any better, mate. All right, let's see. Yeah, Jimmy, no problem. Are you basing the level on the 15-minute open range low, or just the first low before a bounce on the 5? Yeah, just the first low before a bounce on the 5 minute. Yeah. This is not the cleanest example, but I still played this out. Saw if it worked, and it did work. So this wouldn't be a high confidence setup. This right here is beautiful. So this was the open of yesterday. You see how we opened up, we wicked down, came up here, we made a high, then we came down, right? So now you got your range. You got your high there and your low there. That would be the trigger. That would be the trigger. Fucking link snipes. He tagged me in the Discord about Meta, and I'm like, well, you just missed the Meta trade on YouTube. Wonder if Ty played it. Yeah, you're welcome. Michael, you are welcome. So if I missed any questions, just type them again. Microsoft might be a play now. Sorry, I'm just looking at this. Let's see, Microsoft. We got a peaky on Microsoft. All right, Microsoft stressed me out yesterday. Oh no, keep that level there, but just remove the alert. Oh no, it's not there, it's gone. Okay, good. This might be a peaky, but your indices don't look too strong. I don't like, let's look at the Qs real quick. Yeah, I don't like that. This would be range. Move this up here, right there. So you could even just bring this here. This is your intraday. That's your intraday resistance on the Qs. So let's look at the 1 minute, see if we might have something here. Maybe a break and hold of here, right? So the 5 minute setup is break and hold the 306.82, right? But if you go into the 1 minute, the trigger would be break and hold of 307.11 or 0.09, whatever. But the break and hold would be of this level right there. Yeah, just for now. I just started this last week, so I'm going live Thursday mornings, not for long. The intention is an hour. I'm over an hour now, but I'll hang around for a bit and see if we got any other setups. So this is a peaky here. So you would like this break and hold on. So this is the 1 minute, right? This is your 5 minute trigger right there. This is your 5 minute trigger, but so we have 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on this candle. If this ends up holding on the 1 minute up here, this would be a trigger. I've never played this intraday. I haven't tried this intraday. I just usually play the morning range, and that's that. And that is that. And it's just on SPY. I've never tried this on anything else. AMD yesterday, I'm slowly like developing this technique and going about it. So SPY every morning, and I haven't tried on the Qs, haven't played on anything else in the morning, just the Qs. Intraday, I did it on AMD yesterday, and Meta just actually played beautiful now. Gorgeous, gorgeous Meta, gorgeous. Meta don't look too nice here. Now the break could go off the EMA, the 9 here, resistance off the 9 come through. So further downside, you're probably looking at break and hold here. That's your trigger. That's your next trigger. Let's see. One second, guys. Be right back. All right. All right, all right. Oh, look at that drop. Yeah, expected on Disney here. I really wanted to, right out the belt, just grab a put, but I'm pretty sure those IVs were juiced, and let's look at them. I like playing post earnings. So, we had the earnings. So tomorrow usually ends up developing a really clean price action post earnings and it has clean levels. I like playing takers after their earnings. Oh, they're not actually used. They're pretty good. Wow. 5E is really good on these. These ripped. These puts ripped. If you grab the open, my God, these puts ripped. These puts ripped. 55 to 267. All right, there goes SPY. How are the Qs doing? Ooh, look at that. Let's see if this would play out. Haven't tried this before, but I'm not gonna take this. I'm just gonna watch this one. I'm watching this. You have resistance right there, though. This is really good resistance right here on the 1 minute. But technically, your trigger would be the 5 minute hold off of uh, this right here, right? So this would be, but your 1 minute would be your trigger. So the 5 minute candle close confirmation, but 1 minute trigger, which would be this high break and hold. We didn't hold it here. We never broke and held it here. This candle sold off, so you avoid it. The fucking 1 minute, man. Let's see. Oh my God, these guys. Tommy Shelby stuff really good. This guy's in the Discord coming at me about the hookah. All right, flow. So what I'm watching right now, 1 minute close above this would be a call trigger. I'm not playing it. This is something I'm trying to intraday, trying this out. I only play it in the morning. We played it on SPY. Beautiful trigger drop, nice. Ran 30+%. Was able to capture 20%. And then let's see here. Do we have any patterns going on? Let's look at the 5 minute. So we got a nice, no, not a nice, an ugly ass trend line. Let's look. This is just right there. We'll just label that, put that there. And then how's Meta doing? Back above the 9, but your resistance is there. Let's look at the 1 minute. Still holding, still holding, still holding resistance. You could potentially even just play it off of intraday, right? Your 1 minute intraday, your 5 minute, you can look back a few days, right? Line up your levels and then look at your 1 minute, and then that'll be your confirmation. How's clean? I'm gonna look into that more. It's like a DraftKings, Macy's. Macy's had a nasty drop yesterday, nearly filled the gap. And it made it lower. This would probably be a trend line right there. Ooh, too early. Not the cleanest. Not the cleanest, but your 9's over your 30 right now. And I really want to see if this Qs ends up playing out. Let me see. We're back here. We're still here. Laying right. No triggers on the Qs, right? No trigger on the Qs yet. Snow puts. Does Snow have earnings? There's no earnings not till March. I already had them in December, so not till March. But it's getting smacked with put flow. It's getting smacked with put flow. Oh, look at that! You have resistance up here. This is nice resistance. Don't know if this is. This did get smacked with put flow. But it almost looks like it's flagging to the upside, right? Almost not the cleanest falling wedge, but the put flow is there on this name. So if the put flow is there on this name, you know what I would do? I would line this up right there. This is your consolidation. This is your intraday support. This would be a trigger. This would be a trigger right there. This is your intraday support. Yes, you're holding your 9. So you have two things, right? You have price action, and then you have your 9. If you're able to break and hold your 9 and your level, I like this for a short targeting what the 30 EMA. The 30 EMA, because your 9 is crossed over your 30 and you haven't tested it yet. And more than likely you'll bounce off your 30. More than likely you're going to bounce off your 30 because it'll be the initial touch after the crossover. So, but this is definitely the trigger here. And then we can jump into the 1 minute. Oh, this is just ugly. Don't like it. This is why I haven't looked at this on other tickers or played it off of other tickers other than just AMD and SPY every morning. And AMD was just yesterday, first time, tried it. $413.22 shorts break even. I might get stopped out though. $413.22 on SPY. Let's look at that. You played a short at $413.22. Yeah, that's not bad. You took this right here, Cortez. This candle, or you were just watching it, or you were in it. You were in it. You were in it. Let's see. Let's go back AMD. Oh, might have a turn off the CMAs. Sometimes if you guys have trouble like reading price action maybe or setting your levels, what you want to do is just I like hiding my EMAs, and I also like oh, what a drop. I was shorting Euro British. I took profit way too early. I took profit up here somewhere. I think somewhere right here, I think. I ended up taking profit. Damn, look at that drop. So what I like to do is end up hiding my EMAs, and then if I just need more clarity, I end up just removing all my levels and re-looking up. So when you do remove it, you can see, like, for example, let's just go to euro dollar. I don't have anything there, but you can see how clean that is, right? So euro dollar, you'd have a level right there, and then you have a level right there. There you go. You know, so when you clear things off your chart, and then sometimes bring it down, like narrow it, it helps out too to line up your levels. For me, that is. For me. Look at these candles, man. This is an ugly morning. Ugly morning. Might be forming a head and shoulders here. Let's see, what time is it? It's 10 here, 10 Central. But I think that'll do it for me, guys. Nice little trade on SPY. Pretty much it. And then usually I'll take more trades, maybe in within like the next 30 minutes to an hour, see what we got going on. But snow did get some put flow. This is a trigger right here. So we'll see how this plays out. I might take this. If this is able to break and hold or wait for a break, hook and go to the downside, flip this into resistance. But this did get some put flow. It did get some back-to-back put flow. It's dominant put flow right now that's been coming in. And then the SPY is also potentially flying into the downside too. So watch that. I'll leave you with this right there. And then you can upward trend line, just like something like this. There you go. And then you have the top of this. So you might bounce into the top of this and then come down through. We'll see, or it just breaks through that trend. Let's see, but a nice little lower trend line right there going on, flying into the downside. That might work. Qs, same thing with the Qs. Nice setup as well. Yeah, nice setup. And then this is your trigger on snow. Let me look at the flow one more time, see if there's anything else coming in. No, it's just been dominant put flow. Google got some put flow. Now Google's getting some call flows early on. One DTC. There's no confirmation. There was no confirmation to take it. There was no confirmation to take it. We avoided it, right? So that's why I hit on. Don't just look at the flow. You see calls coming in. Oh, jumping calls. No, get confirmation. Get confirmation. This is just brutal. But I will see you guys later. I'll hop back in the Discord if you're there. I'll see you guys there, and if not, till next time. See you guys.